What is going on? Hope all is well. All is going good. Ooh, some lights going on here. Let's see what the hell's going on here. All right, yes, there we are. Hey, what is up? Hopefully everybody's doing well. Everybody's doing great tonight on Monday night. I believe Monday, May the 19th. Yes, yeah, because 5 days ago my birthday. So yeah, yeah, it's the second week in a row. Second of six straight Fulcis, and then I will do six straight Argentos. But tonight is probably, arguably, in my opinion, the most underrated Lucio Fulci film of all time, The Black Cat from 1981. Of course, you got a great cast. You got Minsley Farmer. You got the great Patrick McGee. Anybody doesn't know who he is, just go back to Clockwork Orange or the final segment of the original Tales from the Crypt film, um, where they, in the retirement home. Yeah, really, really good one, and a real legend of not only this genre but of all genres. He's a real legend, and you'll see him pretty close to the start of the film. Yeah, my brand new intro for this particular 12 weeks. You just seen right there. Hopefully it was enjoyable. Hopefully it was good. Everybody enjoyed it. um, but yeah, I'm getting ready to get this going here in just a moment. Just want to talk a little bit for a minute. But yeah, this is one that me and a friend of mine, Chris, did. Chris C did probably 7, 8, 9 months ago, maybe even a year ago. We did a review of it and discussed it. We talked about how it's probably Vulture's most underrated. It's one of the few ones where you actually have a cat, which is the actually the antagonist. You know what I mean? He's actually, this cat. I mean, there's reasons. You know what I mean? He's not the only antagonist, but he is, the antagonist. And some of the stuff this cat does, and some of the effects that they use in this are actually really pretty good, especially for the low budget that Fulci always worked with. Um, he did so much with so little, and that's why I put him as one of the top two greatest, Italian horror slash giallo directors and filmmakers of all time. Is because he could do so much with so little, and he had very little help. Very little help as far as finances goes and all that kind of stuff. This one I do believe he had his good friend. Yes, last week he didn't have on New York Ripper. He did have Sergio Salvati. On this, he does have Sergio Salvati on cinematography. The score is done by the great, legendary Pino Donaggio. You got the screenplay by Biagio doing the story, and Prioletti doing the story, and then of course finished off by Fulci's writing and directed by Lucio Fulci. Locations in this are Wycombe and Chalfront site. See Giles in Hambledon and in Buckinghamshire in Rome. It was released April 4th, 1981 in Italy. It is 92 minutes long. It was filmed from August 11th, 1980 to September 28th, 1980. September 28th. That happens to be my brother's birthday. And it was released theatrically in February 1984 in the United States. Um, it was released on Anchor Bay DVD May 29th, 2001. And then from there, it was released on, of course, Blue Underground, Salvation Films, Shameless, and of course, Arrow, which is what I'm going to be checking out tonight, is the Arrow release of it right here. Yeah, you have some of those names I was talking about last week. Daniela Doria, she plays Maureen in this. She's in a lot of. You got Dagmar Mussender, which is another legend of the genre. Mimsy Farmer, a big legend of the genre. Patrick McGee, he's a legend of all genres. Um, you got Fulci playing the Doctor in a small role in this. Al Cliver, which of course was in Zombie. Uh, Vito Deseri, which is like a warehouse, works in a warehouse manager or some shit. He was, of course, in Don't Torture a Duckling. Um, you know, you got the usual people that Fulci was comfortable with and enjoyed, loved working with. You've never seen this, Nance? Wow. Well, if you have access at all, it is on Pluto. It is on shit, I can't remember which one. And there's another one also, and then of course also I'm going to throw up the link here to the Look movie. Anybody ever has any problem with Look movie? With older films, for some reason, it doesn't like to play them so much. But if you can get past, what you got to do is pretty much you got to go backward and forward a little bit and play with it a little bit. But after you do that a few times, when it gets about the first, I don't know, first act of the film or so, it usually plays pretty smoothly on Look movie. So anybody who has problems with Look movie, which I'm sure you do because I do, and it's not with the newer films, it's with the older films. So anytime you have a problem with it, just kind of play with it a little bit and get it going again. And after about the first, I'd say after about the first act or so, the first quarter of the film, it usually plays pretty smoothly. So that's what I was telling my son Drake, about this and about Look movie. He's not a big fan of it, and a lot of people aren't because of that. But it is a good way to watch free film. If you play with it a little bit, you can get it going. Really not a VHS, huh? Wow. Couldn't think of it. I'm not sure I've ever seen this on VHS. I'm not sure I've ever seen a copy of it floating around on VHS or anything like that. But I mean, I'm sure it was. But yeah, I'm gonna get this going here in just a minute. Just kind of wanted to go through the basics of the film and the basics of Fulci. Fulci. This was kind of like the Black Cat was one that he just. This was right in between. Ripper and House of the Cemetery and Beyond. Of course, he cut. Obviously, he did Zombie in '79. Then in '80, he did City of the Living Dead. And then, of course, in '81, '82 is when he went, the Beyond, and House of the Cemetery, and this one. And then in '82, he went to New York Ripper, and then on from there, from Manhattan Baby, and on and on. But this is one I'm not too sure he was. I mean, I know he was focused at this time on something a little different. He was focused on during this period. He was focused on his zombie type films and shit like that. So I'm not too sure exactly the story behind this one. Um, I didn't really. I've been really busy this week, last few days, so I didn't really chance to check into it. But I will, and next week when I do City of the Living Dead, I will go back and I will discuss the story on this film. So, anybody who wants to check this out with me, the link was right there. And I'll get ready to get this going here. I'll do that silent 5, and then I'll do the out loud 5, and then I'll get it rolling here, and we'll start talking about this. So, we'll start that now. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right from the get go, you really get this guy coming out of his house here. You know what I mean? You really can't. The houses and everything in these films are just fantastic. I'm not too sure how many of these are still standing, but I imagine considering it being Rome, that a lot of them are because they don't rip down shit like we do here in the United States. I can't believe you've never seen it, man. If you like Fulci, man, I always tell anybody and everybody that will listen. If you like Fulci, man, watch the Black Cat. The Black Cat is just, it's really good. It's really entertaining. This cat is a motherfucker for real. And you see right there when the guy gets in the car, you can see where the back door is just a little bit open. That cat's already got himself in there. And if you haven't seen it, you'll find out, what's going on here with the cat and why he's doing what he does. This cat is totally entertaining to me, man. But you can't get any more of a black cat than that. He's back here looking, yeah. And it's weird because he looks in the eyes of this cat, and he's just like, and then he turns around almost like he's in a daze. After looking into the eyes of the cat, he's in a total daze, and it's like he just lets go of the wheel, and wham, and of course, in any car crash, especially in the '80s, late '70s and into the early '80s, if you got a car crash, you know, number one, if you're an Italian film or a giallo or you know giallo horror or whatever, chances are if you hit glass or come close to glass, your head's probably going to go through it. Especially if you're an Argento film. Argento loves putting, especially women's heads through glass. But Fulci decided to take a page from his book here and put his head through glass. So I love how the window didn't shatter like a house window. I love how the least shattered in was little shard like a windshield would. But like I was saying, anytime in the 70s or 80s, if you get a good, you know, any kind of car crash, chances are it's going to catch on fire and it's going to explode. But that's what happens, and then we kick directly into the credits. Patrick McGee. Patrick McGee is so great. Anybody doesn't know who he is, if you've seen Clockwork Orange, he's the crazy eccentric old man that eventually puts Alex through hell. You know, is the food good? Try the wine. Um, yeah, David Warbeck also in this, also from the Gates of Hell trilogy. Cliver, he's in the Gates of Hell trilogy and Zombie. Dagmar Lassender. Got a really nice lineup of. You got two or three really good giallo female actresses going on here. Really good one. Really good cast. You take Zombie and you know, so the Gates L trilogy, and you know what I mean, and fucking Unfortunate Duckling, and you know what I mean. He's pretty much bringing all of his cast together. Studio Salvati, man, great director of photography or cinematography, whichever one you want to call it. There he is. After causing all that mayhem, now he's a ride back at home, and he's got a relationship with his master here, or basically his master. I'm not sure who the master and who the pet is here. And here he is, Patrick McGee. Insane. You know, I'm not sure I've ever seen an actual interview with this guy, but he strikes me as he would be like say Jeff Goldblum or Michael Shannon is. Which, if you see an interview with Michael Shannon or Jeff Goldblum, they're pretty much the same way they are in their film. And I can see Patrick McGee being the same way. He's just an odd person. He's just on that weird side. Yeah, he doesn't get that look to him. You know what I mean? Like he's getting to bust out with, you know what I mean? Holy shit. You know? And this is shit. This is damn near 10 years, but 10 years later after Clockwork, and he doesn't look a day older. So I'm not sure when he died or how he died. I need to check into that. Matter of fact, I think I will. I love the film. I haven't seen one. Yeah, you really shouldn't, Andrew. And I'm telling you, those would be great ones to do reviews of too, man. Go through and watch them. Watch the Black Cat, man. Watch Ripper. Watch, you know what I mean? These ones that you've missed, man, and do reviews on them, man. You'll really enjoy it, man. For real. Take my word for it. Trust me, you will. I'm guaranteeing it. Because Fulci films are very enjoyable. You know what I mean? And that's the one thing, you know what I mean? Where Argentos tend to be a little more serious at times, Fulci's can border on the sillier sometimes, you know what I mean? But not silly in a bad way, just in a fun way. I love this land here, man. This land here in Rome. It's fantastic. Just walking down this hill, Bimsey Farmer. Um, and what just missed there was the cat. The cat came back home, and he's like, "Oh, you're back." And the cat jumps up, and scratches the hell out of him, and he's like, and you get the idea that this happens on a regular basis between him and this cat. You can tell him and this cat have a love hate relationship for real. So yeah, here's Mimsy with not such a great haircut. Not such a great haircut at all. Oh yeah, see, I've enjoyed. I've been really good stuff years ago. Now we got two ends, all there. Yeah, yeah. Check it out, man. Really. Ooh, you got a tomb here. She's gonna go down into. I love how Fulci uses this gothic type shit too, and these tombs and these dungeon type atmosphere. She goes down here into this, and there's a skeleton person just chained up like in a dungeon almost. You know, it's supposed to be this tomb, but instead you could tell the people were just straight out fucking like chained and slaughtered in this place. And this is one that I would definitely start out with early, man, because um, like I say, it's so underrated. It's not talked about because you know what I mean. The films that everybody always talks about with Fulci, are the same ones. You know what I mean? They're the same four, which of course I'm doing this for. There's a reason why those four are talked about, but he has so much other good stuff, man. So much other good stuff. You know what I mean? And then you get into his Euro crime, like contraband, things like that. You know what I mean? Those are good too. And then some of his later stuff, that a lot of people don't really talk about, like Devil's Honey and, things like that. Those aren't half bad either. He get a little bit more perverted as he got older, you know what I mean? Now, out of all this stuff that's up there or down there in this tomb, she finds this little microphone. The mystery begins. Mystery begins. The guy comes along and is like, "What are you doing down there?" It's the police. And that's Al Cliver from Zombie. You should be telling this cop what's going on down there. Here, I need to get, bring up some subtitles. Yeah. Shot in row. Yeah. So yeah, this is let's see. This is supposed to be yeah. So okay. So yeah, so some of it's shot in England, and then you got and then you got these other parts that are in Rome. But yeah, man, they're all at your reach, man. Any of them that you want to check out, you want to see from Fulci or Argento, they're not that hard to see anymore. All these different streaming services and all these different pirating places, man, you can pretty much see them anywhere. There's Daniela Doria. Nice set of breastises on her that we're getting ready to give a nice look at here. Man, these people came and said they're getting the hell out of here because this guy wants to make out. He wants to get down, and people are pulling up in there and cramping his game. But he's going to take Daniela around the corner and go inside this place and do it instead. Nobody ever bothers here. It's perfect. Yeah, it's perfect. All right. But yeah, man. I would do reviews on you. I mean, you know you like the reviews, man. You know these are perfect, and this is something you haven't really delved into much. So you know it would be different for you and for your viewers. You know it would be something different to step into. It's something you've never really covered. So, but that's up to you. Just just my advice. You get into it. You get to it right away. He already got the door closed. And he's already all over Danielle. But you got to be she is cute, and like I say, she's a mainstay in Fulci film. She is, you know what I mean. She's a girl that's got the intestines coming out of her mouth and eyes bleeding and sealed to be dead. Um, she's a girl at the very beginning, gets killed at the very beginning of House by the Cemetery, where she gets a knife to the back of the head in House by the Cemetery. You know, oh good lord, she's in a ton of his films. So she's definitely a mainstay, and she's another one that said she was never treated badly by Fulci. Her and Catriona and Cole both said that. Said that, yeah, a lot of women, weren't treated so well, supposedly. But I was going to put the trailer of this film in there. But the trailer I came across, I thought about the last second trailer I come across here had nudity, had Daniela's boobs in it. So I just didn't think that I should, figured I probably shouldn't do that. So, there's this cat. Here you go. I won't get into the if if you stay with me through this, means I won't get into you know all the plot or anything, just so it doesn't run it for you. Yeah, man. Oh, definitely. Oh, man. Because, in my opinion, Fulci's the best. You know, Fulci is the best, and it's because he goes more toward the horror side. Like I said before, Argento is giallo with some horror sprinkled on top, where Fulci's giallo with some no, it's yeah, some horror on top. Where Fulci is horror with some giallo sprinkled on top. You know, he likes giallo and all that shit, but his cup of tea, man, was horror. You know, was gore. They're trapped in this place and they can't get out. Yeah. Ooh, it got smart too, man. And then we immediately switched to another one here where people are making up. But the story to this is really, really good, man. It's really creative. It's unique. Of course, it's based on, they're all one way or another based on, the Black Cat. You know what I mean? But they're all different takes, and that's why I like all the different. I like most of anything I've ever seen on Black Cat. I pretty much enjoyed. The Lovecraft stuff was timeless, man. It really was. But this is definitely a different direction for it. Like I said, this is one of the rare ones where the cat's actually, actually one of the culprits, one of the main culprit. Well, kind you get a cat doing bad things, which is really cool because it was a little bit of money he ever had to work with. He really does a great job with this. Like you actually believe this cat's actually a sinister motherfucker doing this shit. And here's Patrick McGee again. Like I said, this guy didn't age a day between Clockwork and this. He really didn't. Yeah. I remember you did Argento. Man, yeah, definitely Fulci. Definitely don't forget about Fulci. And here's the guy. Yep. Now you see where that little microphone was coming from. And the guy in the picture there on the tombstone is that guy killed at the very first. You see, you can trust me, speak to me, my friend. So he's out there. This is a cult, you know what I mean? This is right in the middle of Fulci's occult fascination. I was really fascinated with the occult throughout this time. That's why his zombie film, it had to do more with the occult more than it did, it wasn't so much of a virus as it was an occult. And there's a good cat. You can tell he's terrified of this cat too. He's terrified of this cat. Hey, how you doing, Cal? What's going on, man? How you doing? Just doing the black cat. I don't know if you've ever seen a black cat. You want to join me? I got the link on there. 16 or 18, almost 19 minutes in. I understand. But this is a good one, man. This is, I think, his most underrated film. He's got a few that are underrated, but when you put up underrated up beside quality of film, this is the most underrated because its quality is, it's not just one that's underrated because of gore or whatever. It's underrated just because the story's good, because it's entertaining. Never seen the meow? Yeah, well, working for the man. Yeah. Meow, 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 meow. And you got this guy falling around, which is bad idea. And the cat sees him too. The cat catches him. Bad idea. Bad idea. Cliver again. Of course, from Zombie, he's the one, the last one. So they're in Zombie that finally they're on the boat. He turns into a zombie because he gets bit by his wife. Mm. Danielle had a very nice scene here. And these four two are fucking dying and they're getting smothered. There they are, driving on the left. It's funny, I mean, I've noticed this is one of the few countries that we actually drive. We actually drive on the right hand side. Like most drive on the left, which I think would be odd. I think that would be. I think that'd be weird to get used to. Yeah. There we got the male protagonist of the show, David Warbeck. I love how they're keeping it away from the main monuments and everything of they're in Rome. They're keeping it in the back roads where it still looks, you know what I mean, still looks a little English. But you know what I mean? I do a lot of that stuff. That was the same. As far as the back roads go, definitely doesn't want you to get into the city. Rome has got this beauty to it, man. So it's time I keep an eye on him. Last night he was at the cemetery. Yep. And he's just following the guy around, talking to the dead. Yeah, definitely what he does. But yeah, that's what he does, is talk to the dead. And he's like the town drunk, so they don't take him seriously. They're sucking down his malt. Mizzy Farmer off the side listening to him. What is her character's name in this? Mimsy? Jill. Okay. It Matt, I'd say. Yeah. Nothing. And she's supposed to be like a journalist, I do believe. So Jill Trevors is a perfect name. I mean, you can't get much more journalistic than Jill Trevor. I don't think I've ever seen this guy play the same role twice, or the same type of role twice. Like he's eccentric and clockwork, and he's this occult believing, you know, whatever in this. And then of course he's in the retirement home and everything, and fills in the crib, and then on and on. He just the guy's done just ridiculous amount of shit back in his day. Yes, not 25 minutes in, about 25 minutes in, about an hour remaining. Yeah, well, I got a chance to talk about it here. Yeah, next week I will start on the Gates of Hell trilogy, See Living Dead, and on June 2nd I'll be doing Beyond. Then I'll move on to House by the Cemetery, and then I'll finish off my Fulci course with my favorite zombie flesh eaters, aka Zombie 2. And then on June 23rd I will go into Argento, Tenebrae, Deep Red, Suspiria, sequel of course Inferno. It's only sequel basically in my opinion. And then my favorite Phenomena, and I'll finish off with my son joining me doing opera. So potentially both of my sons joining me doing opera. Yeah. See, he's just see, you can just tell he just kind of he practices, yeah, he can mind control and all that shit. And before he could completely get control of her, this cat just attacked the shit out of him. cat doesn't like what he's doing. So in a way, the cat's the protagonist as well, in a way. Because he was starting to get control over her. You know, she was starting to get locked in there. We need each other. So they're bound together by hatred. He wants to kill. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Which kind of puts you in mind. It kind of makes you wonder if that if the cat story in Tales from the Dark Side movie, if it might have been a little bit influenced by this and the Lovecraft, because mostly earlier stories of that where the cat gets trapped behind the wall or whatever and ends up giving away the murder and all that. But these explored a different side of that. Yeah, here's the town drunk. There's a reason why he's the town drunk, because he's in the town rolling around and he's drunk, right? Love these little aisleways and shit, these little roads that they go down here. You have to smoke and all that kind of stuff. Really nice atmosphere. There's the kiddie. I love the little playful music that they have here to this film too. Need to dig into a little more of this cat too. I need to find out a little bit more about him or her, whichever it is. So I don't know much about the cat. I just now actually started digging into the film and the behind the scenes stuff of it, because before I just watch it and just enjoy it. It's just an enjoyable film. It really is. And there it is now. There is all of a sudden Susan ran away. Now it's up off the roof looking at him. And he's freaked out by it because he's seen the cat before. The cat, the cat spied him, so you gotta take him out. Now this is one of my favorite parts of the whole film coming up here. The whole movie, because there it is again. Yeah, he's thinking, man, is somebody put something in my drink or something? What the hell? What the hell's going on here with this cat? He was just down there. I threw a rock at him. He took off. They was up on the roof and he took off. And then now all of a sudden he's back down here again. So let me get the hell away from this thing. But he just wants to get away from this cat. So he's going to try to hide here. He's, well, here, I'll go behind these doors. Cat can't get to me behind here. And this is why this is one of my most favorite parts of the whole film. Is this really, the effects here are just really good. This guy goes to hide. And you figure you go and you get behind a closed door, you know what I mean, where you get the knob where you turn it and everything. The cat's not gonna be able to get you, right? Not with this cat. This thing can open up a closed, clamp down, shut door. Look at this fucking serious wall of pallets. Here he goes. I love this. And this is a well trained cat, because, all of it probably isn't a cat. But a lot of this is this cat is just a well trained, smart cat. See, he climbs around. That's actually a cat doing that. And he's opening this thing now, dude. That scared the shit right out of you, man. You're trying away from this cat, and it's got a latch that comes down, clamps down right there. But he's on this, and that's actually a cat doing that. He's using his weight and his muscle to pull down that fucking thing to open it, because all he can open it is to turn it to where the latch will come up like this. and then it'll open. And he just clamps on it and just pulling down on it. And you at the same time you can see the cat licking the doorknob there, so you can tell they put food on it to get it to do that. But he just opened that door. I love that. So now he's not so smart. I think I'd rather take on the cat straight up rather than go out on this fucking beam. But he sees stairs on the other side, so he figures, well, I'll go across this I'll go across this beam, then I'll go down the steps. Well, that's the problem when you're drunk as fuck. Is walking across the beam becomes quite challenging. And especially when you can see right down below, it's got this thing standing up, these spikes sticking out of it. Don't worry about what it's doing, man. Just go. Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, it's coming. But just get the fuck out of there. Just get the hell out of there. Oh, so it hops up on there. He claws his hand. And he falls off, and as you guessed it, he falls, into this fight. Takes him out. He's a witness that was running his mouth. Now he's gone. And this fucker goes through and almost like a slasher, you know what I mean? He almost like a slasher goes through and just wipes people out. That's a problem. Well, here you go. Kessler whiskey over here. It's crazy. I didn't realize Kessler was. Well, okay. Back in my younger days, I remember drinking some Kessler. And it just had a thing there, a little small thing, a little advertisement or poster or whatever of it sitting over here. Now, of course, they found this guy. And there she is, taking pictures. He was unbelievably drunk. He must have got lost in the dark up there and fallen. It wasn't that dark, man. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Now, you believe, he got drunk and fell off the beam. Why the hell would he be walking across it? But hey, but because it was dark, I don't know. That's the thing about if you got a cat going around, killing people. How do you ever figure out that it's the cat? How do you really, besides the scratch marks, which that's good makeup too. That actually looks like scratch marks. Oh, ah! She's remembering. She's remembering where she was in the old man's house. She remembers seeing this crazy cat. There's a male voice. Let's do a tape. Let us pass over. And then you got little whispers, little voices going. He's a real creepy old guy. He's got long ass eyebrows. It's very enjoyable. To me, one of the most enjoyable parts of Life After Orange is back from the gate. And you got Dagmar Lessender running around out here, which is another legend of giallo, an Italian film. Oh, I can't tell you. So she's obviously his ex. Very true. You can't go back in time. You cannot. My mom always used to say, You can't recapture the past. You know what I mean? And you just can't. She was the mother or whatever to Daniela Doria, which is dead now, of course. Oh, the pain, yeah. You guys seem to have a lot of meetings, man. My mom used to work in a factory, and she would talk about all these pointless meetings that nothing ever got solved, and nothing. They'd go in, they'd say the same things, and yeah, and nothing ever happened. It'd always just be the same shit once they came out. The key, I must find the key. Really nice, really nice. Crazy. Uh-oh. 40 minutes in. But yeah, yeah. And she's ready to go find her daughter. The whole boat full. It's like, why is it whenever cops go? Why is it there can't be just like one, or two, maybe three cops? Why is it got you got two, three detectives and six or eight, six or eight fucking patrolmen and shit? You know, I just find that funny. Very, very funny. Yeah, but there's the target he was talking about, and then there's the key. Yeah, so he just fucker just like ended. Yeah, this black magic or whatever it is. Some dark shit. He just knows some shit. That's how he controls shit. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Where'd you find it? Over on the fucking tarp where the dude said it was. He called it. And that'd be enough for me to go look, motherfucker. See, and you know the cat didn't go grab that key. Ooh, see, nice, nice. See, and you know the cat didn't do that. You know the cat didn't. No way. The cat didn't have the key, lock the door, and then take it and put it back over there. I don't know. He can do a lot of shit, but I don't see him doing that. Just look at supernatural powers. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Practical evidence. Oh, okay, yeah, I heard about that. Blocked from the inside. He even knows that his shit has gotten out of control. He's like, oh man. Now he's caused that shit to happen. And so I do believe his daughter, or at least his stepdaughter. So, so Ginger Zone, yeah. The Ginger Zone. No, absolutely, man. Absolutely. That's crazy looking. I always thought that was so crazy looking. These glowing yellow eyes of this cat. And you can tell it's not a cat, but what the hell is it? It wasn't that doll neither. This poor woman. She that got to help find her daughter, looking all decomposed and shit. I don't know how many days went on, but it was a couple. And there's the cat in the room with her. See, shit that he started has gotten out of control now. That's the problem when you mess around with shit, especially when you're talking about supernatural and stuff like that. Nice room, really nice fireplace. They just don't construct stuff like that anymore. With a nice little design and shit. Damn, he's gonna burn the place fucking down. I think the cat's had enough of all this bullshit, really. Yeah, now he's trying to burn this woman to death. No, that has gotten way too bad. You're not gonna swing a pillow at it and put it out. No, that's what you gotta get the fuck out of there at this point. You gotta get the fuck out of there and call the fucking fire department. Because yeah, it has went completely crazy. She can't get out. Damn. Now she's on fire. Yep. Cat's just completely just haywire. Damn. Good effect. This actually could be some of his best effects that he ever did. Oh, and usually it'll just show him jump on a window, you know what I mean? But this one actually showed the person landing on the ground. Thud roll. Yeah, 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 yeah. You gotta start fessing up, man. For you, it's a theory. For me, it's a certainty. They like to do in these old giallos and these old Italian horror. They always used to have, you got your protagonist, you got your antagonist, and then you got like you got your main cop inspector, and you got you got your photographer or your news person, or you know what I mean, your person for the newspaper. It's just a basic premise in these. All those bases were usually always covered in the old giallo. Which this is very much giallo. I mean, this is horror, but this is very much giallo as well. I mean, this is a good 50-50 of it. I would say this may be more giallo than it is horror. So see, he was, this is one where right in the midst of everything, he stepped back into, you know, giallo, and then carried it on into, this type of thing into like New York Ripper and things like that. Because New York Ripper is a good mixture of, the slasher slash horror slash giallo. It's giallo, that's all slashers are. Is their form of, the basic slasher is uh is basically just a form of a giallo. That room is cool, so I take that room. All the different paintings. He's gonna die. He's gonna try to poison this cat. Will it work? Will it work? 50 minutes in, about 40 minutes to go. Right there lays bed where it lays. Let's see if we can. Yeah, there's the cat. Cat just looks at it. And he's eating it. And he put a good amount of that shit in there. It's not like the cat would have smelt that though, It's not like the cat would have smelt that poison. He's dead. He's got it in the bag. He keep muffled cries. So it's not completely dead. I don't remember exactly what he does here with this cat. Tying it to a tree. It's not completely dead, but it's sick. He's gonna hang it. He's got a noose ready for it. That's good effects. Really good effects. Damn! This big explosion. So he didn't. So it wasn't poison. He was just putting it to sleep, and then he decided to hang it. He probably should have went with the poison. So that's because that's fucked up. You got bed rising off the floor. You got all kinds of extra shit out in there. Another bed. Just lay it back down. Out of the room just completely exploded. You thought you got hurt with a flying glass. And then she sees the shadow on the wall of the cat. He thinks the shit's worked. He's gonna clean up the evidence there. Uh-oh. Is this so Lovecraftian for that to be? Yeah, so Lovecraftian for him to go in there where he had poisoned or whatever the cat, and then to look up and be like, yeah, and then look up and see the shadow of the cat hanging there by the noose. Yeah, that's really Lovecraftian. And he's out here to check this, make sure you're like, wait a minute now, check it out. Yeah, he got away, dude. Plot thickens. What do you mean? The daughter of death was, yeah, I mean, what do you think it was? Yeah, really, I mean, what do you think he's talking about? Oh, shit, man. Yeah, I don't feel bad, man. I've missed me and my premieres. I just don't even bother with them anymore. I just don't even do premieres anymore. I don't know if I will again. I mean, yeah, that sucks, man. That sucks when it happens. Starting next week, I'm going to be starting these at 10 o'clock each Monday. I'm going to start doing them a little earlier. A little earlier. That way, if I end up getting tired, because I have been getting into a little bit different sleeping pattern lately, where I've been going to bed a little earlier, been getting up a little earlier. So it must be the age. Must have been my age. Because if you notice, older people as they get older, the earlier they get up. So it's like I think I've finally entered that phase. So maybe not. But speaking of this coming Saturday, I will be doing I'll be doing what I look at is almost like a prequel or well, no, like a sequel, actually, a sequel to When Evil Lurks, which um, which is Who Could Kill a Child, 1976 creepy or killer kid show. Um, really good one, and I'll be doing that this coming Saturday night at 1 a.m. with Karen from Spirits and Screams. So first time Karen's been on the channel in probably a year and a half, 2 years. But yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. Also got the wrestling show starting. Did we decide on a time? I don't think we did, but here soon. I think it's. I'm not sure. I'd check into it, but it's gonna be me and Drake and Chris. We'll be doing a pro wrestling show. And I also got the other show 3 that I'm starting. So I have a different person on each time to discuss. What we'll do is we'll pick a filmmaker and we'll pick our 3. I'll pick a filmmaker, they'll pick a filmmaker, and we'll discuss their 3 worst films and the good points of those films. So yeah, she knows a little bit deeper shit than what the villagers know. But here he is, he's back. He's all hail. The cat's like, motherfucker, you try to poison me, you try to hang me. That would be terrifying. Easy. What's gonna do is jump on those lamps, those old school lamps full of oil and shit. You knock them motherfuckers over and it's gonna cause a fire. It's the only way we can explain all these crimes. Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit more than coincidence that where this cat is and where this old man is, somebody gets killed. Everywhere. Even sitting up, you drink a little bit less. David Warbeck, yeah, he's an interesting source. You gotta follow him out. You better be careful, man. That cat kick your ass. It has intentions on it too. You better believe it. Cat's like, I'm gonna kill this one guy. Trying to kill me, poison me, hang me and shit. And the cat doesn't look like it's damaged at all. The cat looks free as ever. He's like, yeah, just follow me, motherfucker. Follow me. I got plans for you. Say about an hour in, about 30 minutes left. Timestamp, exact timestamp is an hour and 1 minute, almost exactly. 61 minutes. Yeah. It's cheap to death. It's yeah, and the shit he did before, he's really pissed now. There's a cat watching him, following him. Yeah, it hops down. It's gonna follow him now. Because cats can get around and they can move quiet, so you're not gonna hear it. If it wants to follow around behind you, you're not gonna know it. If it doesn't want you to know, you're not gonna know. And he's on his way over to the old man's house, I think. Once again, just really cool looking houses and roads and all that shit. I love it. I hope it's still like that. Like I say, it's supposed to be England, but it's actually Rome. Oh, he's attacking me. Oh man. Yeah, do you believe it now? Okay, just up and scratch the shit out of this dude. connected to its face. Oh man! And now you're just seeing it everywhere. When a house down runs this way, it's up here again. Now it's over here. Yeah, it's definitely supernatural. No, like you come to an end, sir. Everywhere he looks, he sees this cat. And now he's got it under, he's got him under his control. Look into my eyes. Look into my eyes. And getting sleep deeper, deep. Make him kill himself. Deep. Yeah. Oh shit! Here come a Rolls Royce. And he's just gonna drive right through the guy. Even though he's seen him like fucking 50 yards ahead, he's like he'll move. He'll move. He'll move. Now he's gonna go back and torment the old man again. Guess what? I killed the cop, man. I killed that motherfucker. Cat doesn't care what you want now, man. Suddenly lurch toward the car, you shit. You seen that dude, like I say, at least 30, 40 yards. Commanded, see. Mrs. Farmer, man, she's on top of it. She just knows. Just knows. She just knows. Just like a I wonder why he decided to go with English rather than it being in Rome where it was actually shot. You know, I wonder why. Hmm. Why not just have it take place in Rome? No, Inspector Flynn, and he's making the old man. And I love how the cat's tormenting him too. The cat's tormenting him, making him stick around and watch all this. You know, even though he wanted this shit to stop, and should have stopped him. How the fuck can he stop him? Yeah, I can't stop him. But he's saying he killed him and buried him there. Now, how the fuck do you do that? I'm getting the hell out of here. Remember the royal guard there? She's gonna watch. I'm gonna watch the old man. She's gonna follow him around, see what's up. He said, no, I didn't want that. And now all of a sudden he's awfully just, I don't know, it's weird. It's like the cat's got control of him now instead of the other way around. You notice up there, right above the door, and those windows. Some of those windows are missing. So it's like this place is this little house was shut down or something. If you look up around there, you can see it's an old place, cracked ceiling. The place just looks unlived in now, in a way. When you go back out here, and it looks a little more lived in. Then you go this way, and once again, it just looks really just tired and old, especially on the floor. Yeah, you can see those when she come up around the steps and went up there. You can see those feet prints. It's really a cool old house. Though. Oh, and then she goes in here and fucking so many webs. And it's like, oof. Yeah. So it's only a matter of time before she runs into one of them. Which one will it be? Which one will it be? Yeah, I love that. When she came around, you can see the footprints up there. That's a dirty ass cat feet. She's in his room where he does all his like seance type shit. I'm not sure what the hell you call that. His chanting or whatever. Maybe where he does supernatural or voodoo-ish, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You're a spy. A spy. He's playing recordings. You're a spy. A spy. Yeah. So he just all these recordings. He recorded all this shit. There's laughing. Well, that's up, man. Yeah, just finishing off the movie here. He's back an hour and 11 minutes in. For the time, that was really good recording equipment too. So the old man got some money. He's gonna hide behind this door. Don't sing in French. He's like, what the hell? Why is that shit playing? Who's been in my house? Definitely should shut that shit down. You don't want him to know, you know what I mean? You want to sneak around and get the story or find out what the hell's going on or whatever. You don't make it clear that you've been in there. And she's gonna roll around back here and come across some shit. Yeah, you know what I mean? Here's where the giallo part of the film really comes in. So it's really uniquely done for giallo. Radio-esque. There's the kitty cat. He's waiting. Ooh, that freaks out the cat. Cat's like, stop snapping the pictures, man. What are you doing? The mouse is gone. There he is again. Pieces down. He's like, all right, stop that shit. Hey, he vanishes again. So this motherfucker, there he is again. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, this where Fulci was really getting into his supernatural. I like how he mixes the supernatural with the Giallo aspect of this. I don't go for a lot of Giallo or a lot of supernatural these days. You know, some of these older ones, you know, done like this, I really enjoy. Uh-oh, and here he is. Tell the truth. Simply decided to live. I didn't succeed in killing. Responsible for all those deaths. I know. Couldn't act alone. Can't take orders from no one. That's very true. Can't take orders from no one. Not normal orders. Yourself said the human mind has possibilities I'm not aware of. One. You're the killer. Your extraordinary powers. Yeah, I won't repeat this since you haven't seen it, man. She does a really good job here. She just brought those tears right out. She's terrified. Yeah, exactly. Evil motherfucker, man. Pretty simple premise, actually. It comes right down to it. Yeah, evil exists in all of us. It's true though. Cast take orders from absolutely no one. Thanks for popping back in and everything, man. I appreciate it, man. Yep, I knew it. Yeah. So I called. Of course, I see, but yeah, I remember seeing this for the first time. I called that. And down to even a lower depths of it with even more creepy, scary fucking spiderweb. Webs, scary spiderweb. Just not so much scary, just spiderweb. Oh shit, it's a bat. Fulci likes bats too, I noticed. Just before this, and out by the cemetery, I used that one big ugly bat. that one bat scene is pretty funny. They're just coming after her. Ooh, that's not something that they would do. Really, not. I mean, I hate bats. They freak me the fuck out. But they, they're not going to just attack you. He had, you know, he had definitely improved his effects with the bats. That's for sure. Between that film and this one. Oh, I'm done. Yeah, the wheel being on that side, I think would mess with me, man. The wheel being on the right side. I've never driven a car with the wheel on the right side, but I just, I'm not sure how smart it was of him for him to take her car. What you want to do is take your own vehicle, hide her vehicle, take your own, and then kind of park it somewhere else and just sneak up to where she's at to get her shit. Huh. I wonder why he tells us a little bit of the clothes around and then he's taking all these. There has to be something else that you didn't see. Has to be. Has to be. I don't know. Have you ever driven a car that you ever driven an American car where you drive from the left side? I just wonder how much difference there is. It's clever. And we get all clever at the end again. No, no, because she's there at the old guy's house. There's Patrick McGee's. I love the way they go gothic with these candles. Maybe they do that in other countries. Like I hardly ever see anyone use a candle. Not even the stoners, really. You know, I don't know. They just don't do it anymore. Not what I've seen anyway. Timestamp an hour 21. And down here is at the end. Looks like she's floating the coop. Saying she should leave without a word. Sheer terror, I imagine. Yeah. And it's funny how he wasn't really a part of the story throughout the whole thing. The you know the cop, the inspector Al Cliver here. But here at the end, he ends up coming in. You see him at the very beginning, well, toward the very beginning, and then you see him a little bit here and there, and then now, and there, now here's the old thing here. Now here's the old thing where you're breaking a person inside a wall. I love how they tie that in here at the end. He you couldn't let the story go by without doing the blocking in thing. People have, and they say it's a massive change. Everything, yeah, it's on the opposite side. Now, I wonder if it would be harder to drive on the right side if you're over in Britain or whatever. You're driving the right side of the car and the right side of the road, or if on the right side of the car but on the left side of the road. I wonder which would be harder, or vice versa. You know what I mean? Like the left side of the car and the left side of the road. That would be, man. That would be fucked up to get used to. And now I see that David Warbeck, the inspector, is still alive. He didn't get killed somehow, but he got nailed hard by that fucking car. But Patrick McGee thinks he's dead. I do believe. She getting bucked behind this fucking wall. That's fucked up. That fucked up, man. Damn. I love how they bring that old part of the story in because that's basically, the old H.P. Lovecraft, Black Cat. It's basically the whole aspect, right? To get bucked behind the wall. And they're going to this, they're going to this crib right here to find out what's going on. Thanks to Al Cliver. He's the one that really kept this going and, kept thinking about her because where he met her toward the beginning of the film. When she come up out of that tomb. Basically, the whole thing of this is just this fucker went mad and wanted to talk to the dead. Basically. There's a lot of other shit going on that I won't talk about, but he's just a crazy old bastard. He's just blowing the fuck away. He's like, "You're this dude's going." Only hurts. Not your big cat, your cat. You wouldn't take it around, do you? Excuse us. Okay, well, we will look around then. Okay, the same thing. You say that's exactly. Well, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I knew Australia and the UK. I knew you guys both drove from the right side of the car, but on the left side of the road. Where we drive, of course, left side of the car, right side of the road. What I mean is like, say, say we were to put on the right side of the car, but drove on the right side of the road too. Like, if you put our wheel on the right side of the car and put us, driving on the left side of the road. Just wonder what that would be like. Or even, yeah, or even the right side of the road, but still kept us on the right side, right side of the car and kept us on the right side of the road. You know, I like to try that someday. I don't know if I ever get the chance, but I like to check it out. See, just just for the hell of it. I at least like to drive from the right side of the car on the left side of the road. But I wonder if you put it both the same. I wonder if that would be weird. Left, left, or right, right. And there it is. The cat's giving away. And he just knocked all the damn bricks on top of the chick. And there's the cat. The cat says, "Hey, motherfucker, you think about that?" No. Yeah, they're gonna believe that. See. Oh, yeah. Sure has. There it is. It's a good one, man. Definitely, definitely. And then there he goes, wandering about, doing his thing. Good cat. Interesting little soundtrack too. Excellent, excellent. Yeah, yeah. Very cool, very cool. Very good one. Oh man. Well, thanks. Thanks for joining me. And thanks to y'all on the rewatch. Much appreciated. Yeah. Join me next week. Um, join me next week for the for the third week of my Italian horror and giallo 12-week run here, where I will begin the Gates of Hope trilogy with City of the Living Dead. But until then, have a great night, morning, evening, or whatever it is. Don't forget, I am Gorphobe, and you are not. Take it easy, everybody. Much love.